So we have one half of our face already done, and I'm going to show you exactly how I recreated this on this side. The reason why this is called 3D foundation is because our faces are not one-dimensional. Foundation shouldn't be either. This foundation here is going to give you that three-dimensional finish, which is going to create the most natural looking effect. I'm going to walk you through exactly how I did this look using just one brush. This one is the 3D brush. I feel like it's the best one for beginners and it's so easy to use. So when I color match you, I'm going to color match you to 3 main shades: your contour, a main highlight shade, and a pop highlight shades. Highlight is just another fancy term for foundation or concealer. Start off first with your contour shade. This is the part that I think most people are terrified of, but the part that's going to make your makeup look the most natural. Our faces naturally have a little bit of sculpt to it, so by just enhancing it, it's going to give you a little bit more definition to the face and give you more of that dimensional look. Find my cheekbone and I'm going to place this color right underneath that cheekbone. And as you can see, it's super dark and super scary looking, but once it blends out, I promise you it's going to give the most natural look. Place the contour on the forehead right above the brow arch and everything behind here. I'm going to pinch my brush and just go on the top of the nose to create my nose contour. This is a shade that I will only match you to if you need some kind of color correction on your skin. This is known as a camo or camouflage highlight shade. I grabbed the smallest bit and I'm only going to color correct the areas that I know need a little bit more coverage, like my under eyes. I'm going to go into our main highlight shade. This is basically an overall foundation shade, but I only like to place it in key areas, including the jawline like this, a little bit on my forehead, and just in the very center of the face. Finish off with this shade here, which is our pop highlight. This is essentially a brightening concealer shade. If you're wanting something more natural, you can totally skip out on this, but you at least want to have your contour and your main highlight shade. Once we have everything placed on our face, I always start off with the lightest color and I swipe to blend down. And we're just gonna keep on blending only the lightest shades first. And I will always blend in the lighter shades into the darker shades, like my contour on my forehead. For the contour, I'm going to use the fluffy side that we originally applied our contour with. Stamp and swipe up to create a more lifted effect with your contour. Our additional add-on products. This is the bronzer, the blush, and the illuminator shade. This to me just helps to add a little bit more color to our face. You can totally keep it like this for a super natural makeup look. Starting off first with bronzer, this is going to make it look like as if you were sun-kissed. Then we have our blush shade. Take a little tiny bit of my blush color and I'm gonna start right on top of that contour and bronzer. The most important thing when it comes to this makeup is remembering that cream makeup does not set by itself. Take our pressed powder and I'm going to set only the areas that absolutely need it. Now, if you're more on the dry side, you can just spray it down with some setting spray and it'll give you a nice dewy effect. But if you like your makeup to look a little bit more matte, or maybe you're just a little bit more oily like myself, press the powder in place. This will definitely give you a more matte finish. So if you want to keep the glow to your skin, just take a little bit of the cream illuminator and just tap that on the top of the cheekbone in a C shape. The only item that isn't inside of this palette is mascara, but it literally has every single other thing that I could ever need. And what's great about this is that you don't have to do a palette this large. You can totally minimize it to something a little bit more smaller and make it completely customizable to you. I handpicked every single shade that is in here. So I picked out the blush shades that I wanted. I picked out the eyeshadows that I wanted. Your routine is super sleek and you can see that it literally looks like a real life filter. It gives this beautiful lit from within glow that makes you look more youthful as we start getting older. That's basically it for a super simple 5-minute makeup routine. Next up, I'm going to show you a super quick and easy eyeshadow tutorial that I promise anybody can do. I'll see you in the next video.